Good evening and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner. It's great to be here tonight. We're here live on Facebook, and I believe we're also live on YouTube. So you need to become live here with me on Sports Corner, and I'll be taking your chats tonight through the comment line here or the comment section here as well. And we're going to be uh, just totally live here right now with your favorite sports talk here on Sports Corner. All right, tonight I want to talk about, we're going to get started here. Baseball has come up and has ended the lockout. The owners got egg on their face. Why? Because they were the ones that created this lockout. And the players got exactly what they wanted every time. And it never fails. The owners always, or the players always do. For 4 decades now, the owners have been asking for a salary cap. What do they continue to do? Give in to the players. The players' union for baseball is a joke because the reason it's a joke is because it's always one-sided. All right. And the owners ended up this year by locking the players out and not getting much of anything except for a DH, a raise in minimum wage, and a little bit of some few different things that are going to be going on in the sport of Major League Baseball. The DH will be involved in both leagues this year, which gives the Pirates an opportunity to have a DH hitter. Go out and get a DH hitter. Maybe get an extra man on base here and there. That's what the DH is going to do for the Pirates. Other than that, this new contract this new CBA does absolutely zero for the Pirates. And it doesn't do a whole lot for them at all when the Pirates are still where the Pirates are always going to be, in the hole, in the bottom. And maybe perhaps with this new management, they might just make it this year or next year or in 2025 or whenever they decide they're going to make it. That's probably when that's going to happen. So the Pirates and Major League Baseball are in the same boat that they're in. 12-game playoff and a whole lot more. But this CBA has done nothing, is nothing, and will produce nothing except for a few changes. Big deal. Baseball gets started real soon. April 12th, the Pirates play in St. Louis, and that's the opening day. The opening day at PNC Park is also going to be moved as well. So if you just thought that you were going to go to opening day at the time it was scheduled for, you might as well just forget about it because it's not going to happen that way. So anyway, that's the story for tonight. And I'm sticking to it right here on Facebook, right here on The Way I See It. Or I'm sorry, Sports Corner. Live with me, Ralph Williams. We're here on Facebook every single Sunday night. Your comments are welcome in the comments section. We're live with Restream. Also coming up later on tonight, we're going to be throughout the show here. We're here till 9:30. We're going to be talking about the Steelers, the Pens, also some Pitt football, Pitt basketball. I got a nugget for you that's pretty interesting. Tuesday night on the YouTube side of things, on YouTube, I'm going to have Jerry DePaula on with me from the Trib Live. And he's going to come on with me on my podcast edition Tuesday night special that's live on that's live on YouTube on Tuesday night 8 p.m. As we're always live there. Jerry's going to come on and we're going to talk to him and see what his thoughts are on this latest rumor that I'm hearing about Pitt basketball. And usually my sources are usually pretty decent because the last time Jerry DePaula and I had a conversation, my sources were right about everything that I said to Jerry. And when Jerry and I had our conversation, I said to Jerry, well, this is what I heard. This is what he did not say that they were not true. So all of my sources are correct. Okay. And my sources are telling me a couple different things in regards to Pitt basketball. So there's some things that has to happen, and there are some things that are probably going to happen. And that is real simple. And that is this, that Pitt basketball is still going to be sunk for a couple more years because of one thing. All right. This is the only one piece. There's two parts to this with Pitt basketball, and we'll talk about that later. But as always, I like to get started with the Steelers. Okay, first of all, it was announced today that the Steelers are not involved at all in the Deshaun Watson trade or anything connected to Deshaun Watson. Comment section right here. We're live on Facebook tonight, Sunday night edition of Sports Corner. I apologize, I was not here last week for Sports Corner on Sunday night. I had prior obligations, but if you missed tonight's episode, you can catch it again on Facebook and on YouTube also as well later on. So, and please don't forget to go into the comments section. I would love to hear from you tonight here in the comments section right here on Sports Corner. Me, Ralph Williams, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Studio 808. Oh, yes. All right, the Steelers are not involved in the Deshaun Watson trade talks. They want nothing to really do with Deshaun Watson, okay? You know, I'm going to take a quote from Mel Kiper. And I remember back in the 1996, and we had just lost the Super Bowl to the Dallas Cowboys. And what had happened was the Steelers were in the draft, and it was late in the late rounds. You know, when you're the loser of the Super Bowl, you draft almost dead last in the draft. Well, Tom Donahoe was our general manager or player personnel director or chief janitor or whatever you want to call him at the time. And he drafted Jermaine Stevens. And Mel Kiper made this comment that the Steelers are going the economical way. Well, the Steelers are going the economical way here when it comes to a veteran quarterback. So do not expect Deshaun Watson. You know Aaron Rodgers is signed with Green Bay. Okay. Russell Wilson has been traded. Okay. And Carson Wentz is gone. So what kind of quality veteran quarterback do we have out there? All right. And are the Steelers even interested in bringing one in? Now I'm hearing Jacoby Brissett, who was a backup this year down in Miami. And he has ties with Brian Flores. So why not bring Jacoby Brissett here, okay, to the Steelers, all right, as a veteran presence in the quarterback room, or it could even be the starter, depending on what Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins do as far as practice, training camp, things like that. We don't even know what's happening to Josh Dobbs. We have no idea. Josh Dobbs had that turf toe last year. I haven't heard anything that he's even practicing or doing anything at this time when it comes down to turf toe. Turf toe is one of those crazy injuries that you really kind of don't want to have. It's one of those types. And believe me, you don't want to have it. All right. The Steelers they're also looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, you know, Ryan Fitzpatrick is about as old as Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think they should go in that direction. If they really want to be cheap, Tyrod Taylor, maybe even a Marcus Mariota, as I agree with some of my fellow media colleagues in regards to that. I think they should take a look at them. Mitch Trubisky, I think he's going to command too much money, and I don't think it's going to work out for the Steelers with Mitch Trubisky anyway, as far as that goes. As I said before, the Steelers are doing it again. They're going the economical way instead of the way they actually should go. If they do decide to take a quarterback in the first round, in the second round and beyond, they need to start looking at some other needs. They have defensive tackle. They have both lines of scrimmage, the offensive line as well. Both need to be fixed up. In case a lot of you don't know, the lines of scrimmage are a very important aspect of the fact that in order for you to win a football game, you have to control both lines of scrimmage. They need to get help for Cam Hayward on that defensive line. We don't know what Alualu's going to do. We don't know what Tuitt's going to do. My thinking is go out and get a free agent nose tackle. Draft one. Bring him in here. Get him going and get him moving. And then you have your line. You have Alawalu. You have your rookie, if it's a first round, or if you find a veteran, bring them in. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of backups that are pretty decent. Chris Wormley filled in great this year. Henry Mondo was doing quite well, and that Martavius Adams, he was one of the scrap heap guys that we brought in from everybody else's practice squad. So therefore, I think the Steelers really need to take a look at both lines of scrimmages before they even look at a quarterback at this point. But if the one falls to them, such as a Kenny Pickett, such as a Matt Corral, such as a Hal from North Carolina, Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati, okay, Sam Howell from North Carolina, any of those guys, Malik Willis, any of those guys fall to the Steelers, I'd take them, okay, and then move on to our other picks, because some of the quality offensive linemen that I think the Steelers should take, they're not going to be available at that time when it comes for the Steelers to pick. Now, I have heard some inklings that there's 2 mock drafts out here right now that have the Steelers going and taking or moving up in the draft from 20 to 17, making a trade with the LA Chargers to get either Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, depending on who's available. All right. If that happens, that's fine. It's going to take a few years to get the quarterback together anyway. So whoever does come in, they're going to have to sit back for a year or two. Comment section here on Facebook. Don't forget to check in with me tonight. What's your thoughts on the latest on the Steelers? They signed Miles Kennebrew to a new contract, Dwayne Haskins to a new contract, Arthur Maulet to a new contract. And as I mentioned before, the Steelers are now looking in the direction of Jacoby Brissett as far as their free agent quarterback goes. And please, folks, I don't want to hear no more about Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, even Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't even want to hear that, because I don't think Garoppolo is going to come to Pittsburgh. I don't think he's going to be here. I think the Steelers are going to do a bargain basement kind of guy. They're going to bring in here that can get the job done at a cheap price. They have other needs that they need to look at, and that's the way the Steelers are going to be handling things this year. I'm coming up later on in April, probably the week before the draft, right here on my Tuesday night podcast edition. I might have a few guests on. We're going to have a draft show here on my podcast, and I'm working on getting a podcast going for PCTV as well. Okay, Pence won 6-2 the other night against Vegas. Today, they won 4-2. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina has been a thorn in the Penn side this year. They have the lead in the Metropolitan Division, but the Pens have to keep going with their A game. They have to stop. The injuries need to cease. They need to make sure they have their A game, because they're playing everybody in their division right now, and they're going to be seeing them in the playoffs as well. So with that, the Pens definitely, and Mike Sullivan even said that they're going to have to really have their A game. They're going to have to come with everything. Possible trade targets that the Pens are looking at. I'm hearing rumors about Brock Bosner from Vancouver and Richard Pagel from the Anaheim Ducks. Those are guys who I think the Pens could probably get at a minimum price. They have Ron Hextall said today they have a lot of free agents that need to be signed for the Pens. He's not going to be able to sign them all. And I mentioned before, and I gave everybody a homework assignment, either on this show, PCTV, on my Tuesday night podcast. Tell me of the 3, which 2, because Hextall said he doesn't think he could sign all 3 of them. Rust, you have Letang, and you have Malkin. Which 2 would you take? Comment section. I welcome your comments here on Facebook tonight. Tuesday, we're going to be on YouTube, as always, every Tuesday night. We're on YouTube at 8 p.m., and my guest will be Jerry DePaula from Trib Live. Also, don't forget Saturday, 5 p.m., PCTV, Channel 21 Comcast, Channel 47 Verizon Cable, Sports Corner, 5 p.m. every Saturday This coming Saturday, the 19th, guess what's coming up? The Year in Sports Review replay. If you didn't see it on PCTV, you didn't catch it on their Facebook page, 5 p.m. this coming Saturday. Also, my friends at Steel City Sports World at 6 o'clock, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host as well on PCTV. Also, don't forget, we're going to talk right now about Pitt football, and I'll talk with you later about some of my other shows going on. Wednesday, we have Mauler Talk. Lots to talk about for Mauler Talk. I got the top 10 in the USFL. They just had their supplemental draft. I'm going to tell you what Pitt, West Virginia, Penn State players got picked. I'm also going to tell you exactly how the Maulers picked in that draft, and some Pitt players with some local familiar names and ties that got picked up. Some local colleges such as Gannon and a few other colleges got some guys picked up that are going to be playing this year in the USFL. Could be playing. We're going to find out how that works. All right, let's get back to Pitt football. Former Pitt and NFL player Henry Hanowski was named honorary chairman of the Big 33. How do you like that? Congratulations to Henry Hanowski for that. He was a great fullback when he was with Pitt. He played a virtual role in the offense. He's a great guy, and I like him, and I think he's perfect for what he's doing, and it's great to see him do that as well. They also got New Jersey walk-on as a commit linebacker, Matthew Amofio. So he's going to be part of the 2023 class, but he's a walk-on and he's committed already, and he's going to be an early signing, which is going to be great because the reason I say this is because Pitt needs some linebacker depth. They lost Cam Bright. They lost a few other guys. John Patrician graduated, and so they're going to need some depth there. The only depth they have right now is Savassier Dennis. I don't know what's going on over there. All I know is it was unfinished business. A lot of players left because of that, and a lot of players left because of a few other reasons. So there you are there as far as Pitt football goes. Also, the spring game brought to you by PNC will be at Heinz Field April 9th, 1 p.m. start time for the spring game. And I'm going to tell you, stay tuned to my Facebook page because I'm going to be telling you where I will be sitting at the spring game. Why don't you come over and hang out with me, chat with me for a little bit at the Pitt spring game at Heinz Field. It's going to be on April 9th, 1 p.m. start time at Heinz Field. We're going to see which side's going to be playing catch-up. We'll be playing catch-up this year. That ought to be interesting, huh? Okay. I promised you tonight that I would have a piece of nugget about the Pitt men's basketball team and as it results to Jeff Capel. And the reason I'm saying this is because Jeff Capel, and there's a lot of everybody out there, the fanatics on the Pitt Fanatics group, the alum, the student body, want to know why Heather Lyke continues, our athletic director for Pitt, continues to support Jeff Capel. Well, I'm going to explain to you why. Now, number one, here's the one nugget that I'm going to bring you tonight. And then Tuesday, I'm going to verify this other nugget that I heard with Jerry DePaula, who covers Pitt for Trib Live. And he's been doing it for a while, and he's continuing to do it. He will be with me on my podcast this coming Tuesday night, 8 p.m. every Tuesday night. Oh, excuse me, live on YouTube. And as usual, we have our comments section open as well. Okay, so here's what I found out. Jeff Capel's buyout contract is $15 million. So in order for Pitt not to eat it, which they're going to have to do, right? They're going to have to eat this. I mean, they really are. So right now, being that they don't want to eat it, they're going to have to ride out Jeff Capel's going to have to ride out his contract. For the fact that Pitt will be sad for the next 2 more years, and it's going to be a while before Pitt gets back in order here. That's why Heather Lyke refuses to fire Jeff Capel. All right. And that's what my sources tell me. And most of the time when my sources tell me something at Pitt, I'm right about that. They were right about it. They told me the whole story. And that's what I found out. Now I have a second piece to this, but Tuesday night you got to watch my podcast on YouTube, 8 p.m. start time Tuesday night. All right, let's talk about some other sports for a minute here. Let's get into some quick high school uh, stuff here. Duquesne City Schools starting their athletic program back up. That's great to hear for them. They need to get some of these youngsters back in playing basketball and football and getting back into the gym, getting themselves together for sports. It's great to see Duquesne City Schools in Duquesne, PA, getting themselves back together. Also, Southmoreland has hired a new coach, and he is gonna. His name is Tim Bukowski, and he was the top assistant to Rob Frederick. In case you're not aware, Southmoreland hired Rob Frederick. The night they hired him, he had a heart attack, and he died. So sad to hear about that. My condolences to the Frederick family. It's really sad to hear that that has happened to them. But now Southmoreland has their football coach. Also, let's talk about Duquesne basketball. Senior forward David Dixon commits to Duquesne. That's good news for them. Antonio Brown and Kanye West have put a bid in to buy the Broncos. Wow. How about that one? All right, let's talk about the Pirates real quick today. I found out some interesting news. Players are starting to report to the amended spring training due to the lockout. And as part of this amended spring training, there is they picked up left-handed pitcher Aaron Fletcher off of waivers from Seattle. I'm not going to be happy with the Pirates until they get rid of Mitch Keller. I think he's a horrible pitcher. I don't know why they keep dragging their feet with him. They'll probably go out and get a couple veterans off the scrap heap to pitch this year. As far as that goes, they already went and they traded Jacob Stallings, which I was quite surprised they traded, and I thought that was a little bit of a head scratcher. But I heard Brian Reynolds. I heard has turned down a long-term contract. Key Brian Hayes has also turned one down. So I'm wondering if they're seeing the writing on the wall. Why should I sign a contract with this team when A, they don't want to pay me, and B, I'm going to get traded anyway, so why not make my value even greater? Okay? So that's the reason why I believe that the Pirates have not been able to sign some of their key young players. And if the Pirates think that some of these guys are dumb, the Pirates better think again, because that's not the case here. They might be fooling some of you out there who continue to go to these games and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars at these games for an owner who doesn't seem to care about whether or not you get a quality product on the field to watch, that you spend hundreds of dollars at a game. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? So continue to spend your $100 at the games, or hundreds and hundreds of dollars to where you got to take out a loan. You continue to do that at PNC Park. Continue to feed Bob Nutting's pocket. Continue to just, show up at the games. Oh, PNC Park's a nice place to play. Yeah, it's a beautiful place for a game. Absolutely. But, why spend hundreds of dollars if you have no meaning to be there? I like to go there for their concerts after the game. Last time I was at a Pirate game was in 2000. Well, I went in 2017 to see the Pirates play. Chicago played afterwards. 2018, they had real nice giveaways. I went for a couple giveaways. I didn't pay for tickets. Someone else did. So you see, I don't need to be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to a game when someone else pays for it. I don't get media credentials. I don't get free food, and they don't park my car. So therefore, as of right now, I don't have no reason to really go to a Pirate game. All right. So there you are. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the NFL again here. Amari Cooper traded to the Cleveland Browns. You know what, Steelers, better take a look at this. These other teams are starting to beef things up again. And now I'm hearing stories that Cleveland's looking at Deshaun Watson as well. They want to bring somebody in to probably compete with Baker Mayfield, which could happen. Carson Wentz traded to the Washington Commanders. Pro Football Hall of Fame will move to an afternoon starting August 6th of this year. Instead of prime time, the ceremony will be in the afternoon. So will the game. Mitch Trubisky is out there, free agent quarterback from the backup for the Buffalo Bills. Teams interested, possibly the Steelers, Giants, Saints, and Colts. Jameson Winston, Steelers, Washington Commanders. Even though, and I say even though they have Carson Wentz, the Washington Commanders are loading up on quarterbacks this year for what they have. They have that Heineke kid, and he's sort of here and there. Khalil Mack being traded to the Los Angeles Chargers with Joey Bosa. That ought to beef up their defense. We spoke about baseball earlier. Teams that voted against the latest agreement. Now, of course, Bob Nutting for the Pirates, he voted for it. Okay, what a dummy. All right, but the ones who voted against it are the Yankees, the Astros, the Cardinals, and the Mets. Okay, DH for all, 12-game playoff, and a raise in the minimum wage. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's 30-minute Sunday night edition of Sports Corner. All right, I want to thank everybody for this tonight. Just a few announcements before you go. Tuesday night, don't forget on YouTube this coming Tuesday and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. live on YouTube, Sports Corner podcast with myself and my special guest this week will be Jerry DePaula from the Trib. Wednesday, 4 p.m. live on YouTube is Mauler Talk, and we have a lot to talk about this week, plenty to talk about. The supplemental draft, who the Maulers picked, also the top 10 USFL players. I'll tell you who those are, and a whole lot more coming up Wednesday, 4 p.m., 30-minute show live on YouTube. You can also write your comments in the comments section anytime on any of my shows. Please subscribe as well on YouTube to my shows. And also would be beautiful if you put your comments in there of what your thoughts are on the show and what your opinions and comments are in regards to sports and with the way I see it. Also coming up on Thursday, Wrestle Talk, national show, Blog Talk Radio. We have a special guest coming on, myself and my co-host Mark Mancini from Los Angeles, California. 347-205-6931. You can listen to it on your phone and also comment on Blog Talk Radio live. Wrestle Talk, the only local professional wrestling show that's national. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Some of my media colleagues in this town have decided that because I'm doing so successful with this Wrestle Talk, that they're now at the station that they work for, they're trying to instead of hiring me to do the show, myself and Mark, okay, syndicating it or having us come on their show, they're having their talk show hosts who know nothing about wrestling, probably don't even watch it, okay, and they're trying to do things in a different perspective. So I want to tell you this right now. Go with the best, okay? Every other Thursday, Blog Talk Radio. This Thursday, Wrestle Talk. We're going to talk about AEW, WWE's WrestleMania coming up. Whole lot more. All 8 p.m. start time for Wrestle Talk, Blog Talk Radio, myself, and Mark Mancini. Thank you for tuning in tonight to Sports Corner live here on Facebook every Sunday night. Thank you. Have yourself a good night. Be safe. Stay tuned for The Way I See It coming up next.